but Chef Lau is a celebrity chef and renowned restaurateur who developed restaurants such as Chef Guevara's in San Juan and OK Cafe in Pasig. Famously dubbed as the rock star chef, Chef Lau graduated from the prestigious Culinary Institute of America and became the host and judge of MasterChef Pinoy and Junior MasterChef Pinoy edition on ABS-CBN. He joins us today to guide us through a delicious Longsilog recipe. Hi, Chef Lau.
Hi, Margo. Hi, everyone. Thank you for participating in this MasterChef series for Germania. And I'd like to wish everyone good health, especially now it's the Delta variant is all over the place. So please keep safe. Stay at home. It's more fun to cook at home, right? So again, thank you so much for participating, and for everyone who's watching right now. I have a very, very unique dish that I will teach you, and it's from a classic breakfast dish. We all love silogs, right? Diba? Sinangag with eggs, and of course this is with longanisa. And instead of doing a silog, we are doing a relog. And what's relog? Instead of usual rice, we are using a short grain rice, or rice normally cooked with risotto. So that's why it's called it's short for risotto. So we're gonna cook a garlic risotto, and not just garlic risotto, but I'm gonna make it a creamy salted egg garlic risotto, because when I eat silogs, especially if it's longanisa, I have to have it with itlog na maalat and kamatis, right? So we're also gonna use tomatoes, but we're gonna do something different. All right, so everything would be based on the silog, the long silog, but we're gonna do an Italian twist. All right, so you guys ready? So I assume all of you have the ingredients. We're good? Okay,
yes,
so
Chef.
all right, so it's nice to see you. I can see you all here. Some have their cameras off. But it's okay, as long as you can see me and hear me. Is the audio good? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we could hear you. We could hear you
Yes,
loud and clear,
I
Chef.
can hear you.
Yeah.
Clearly. Clearly.
All right. Okay. So let's start first with our longanisa. So our longanisa here is yung fresh type na longanisa. You can use any kind of longanisa, your favorite longanisa, as long as it's a fresh type. When you say fresh type, siya yung like this, it has like a casing, and there's like ground pork with all the longanisa spices inside. This is the right longanisa to use for this recipe. Don't use the processed ones na parang ano na siya, yung medyo solid. Alright, so what to do with this? As you can see, it's still in the casing. So you have to take it off the casing. Make sure wala na siyang mga strings attached. Medyo mahirap kainin yung strings to take it off. So you can just push it out like this. Make sure all the longanisa ground meat is out. So you just this is the casing, you just set it aside. So this is around half a kilo of longanisa. When I was buying this longanisa, I asked the vendor, what kind of longanisa is this? Sabi niya, Chef, it's like a garlicky type longanisa, and also peppery. Marami siyang paminta. So sabi ko, okay, good. So it's kind of like the vegan style longanisa, I guess. So I don't know what kind of longanisa you got, but any kind is fine as long as it's fresh. So you can just take it out of the casing. Now, if you don't have longanisa, you can just simply use ground pork or any ground meat. Pwedeng ground beef, pwedeng ground chicken if you want it healthier. But I thought of, using longanisa because longanisa by itself is already delicious. And we will make it even more delicious because we're gonna transform this into a meatball. Yes.
So, Chef, what made you come up with this recipe? It really is just so unique.
I don't know. Sometimes I dream of recipes. Sometimes I think of recipes when I get inspired by other dishes, or sometimes if I drink too much alcohol. So, well, I've been cooking Filipino cuisine pretty much ever since I started, and I want to do something that's Filipino inspired, and yet it's kind of Italian, right?
Yeah.
Like what Gaita Forrest did. She cooked her pasta. What's the name again? Telefono. Al telefono. Yes. So here it's I'm doing a meatball dish using longanisa. And we're gonna also do a risotto dish. Yes. All right. So, are you guys okay? Are you squeezing out your longanisa as well? Again, guys.
Yes,
don't
Chef.
hesitate to ask questions at any given point. You just unmute your mic, or if you're shy to ask question yourself, you can type in and. I think Ella or Margot would see your questions. Yeah.
For sure.
So I think I'm almost to my last longanisa. How many do I have? Still have one. Right. So yeah, this dish is it's basically Italian style, but it has a lot of Filipino flavors, which I love. Right. Let's see if there's more longanisa hiding. Oh, there it is.
There it is.
So you can see, this longanisa has a lot of stuff in it already. So all we need to add later on are the breadcrumbs, the milk, and the Parmesan cheese, and also our herbs. Because the classic Italian style meatballs, they put a lot of herbs and breadcrumbs and cheese. So we're gonna do the same. Meron pa ba dito? I think it's there. Okay. So I'm just gonna throw this away. All right. So make sure your hands are always clean, or you can wear gloves if you have. All right. So we have the longanisa here. We'll be adding some onions. I don't know if you already minced your onions, so anyway, I'll teach you how to mince an onion. I'll be using only half of an onion because this is quite big. So slice it in half. Now, this is the head part of the onion. This is the tail part. So what you do is you slice it, but not all the way. Make sure you leave a onion that's not cut here at the top area. So you just space it like what I'm doing, and then you just slice it horizontally like that, and another slice here. Okay, And then you just simply cut. As you can see, there's like diced onions. So this is a quick way of dicing some onions.
You need a good sharp knife for that, right?
Exactly. This is the most important thing. If you use a dull knife, it's more dangerous because it's more effort needed, and if you're slicing with more effort, the tendency is you slip, so accidents will happen. So there you go. And you don't use the head part because that's a bit bitter. Okay, and you just add this to your longanisa ground meat. All right. Now we're gonna add the other ingredients, but before we add the breadcrumbs and the milk, I'm actually gonna combine the two. This is around a cup of breadcrumbs. I'm gonna put more or less half a cup of milk. And you wanna mix this. You wanna let the milk be absorbed by the breadcrumbs. And the reason why we're doing this is because you want the breadcrumbs to be moist. And in turn, when we add this to our longanisa ground meat, it will also make it moist. So when you cook it, it's juicy. It's not going to be a dry meatball. So you just let it absorb. Don't put too much milk because it's going to be too wet naman, so your meatballs are not going to form. So make sure it's moist like this, but still quite solid. There you go. So you want kind of this texture. There you go. And you just add this to your longanisa. I think this is a bit too much, so I'm not gonna put everything. I'm gonna just there. And what else do we need? We need to add 1 egg. This is beaten. Will help put everything together or emulsify. And then,
what is a good ratio, Chef, for the longanisa meat to the breadcrumb milk mixture? It's a good ratio.
Yes, for the breadcrumbs and milk, 1:2, which is for every 1 part of milk, 2 parts breadcrumbs. So here I used 1 cup of breadcrumbs, so I only used half a cup of milk. And then this is the meat is around half a kilo. So what's that ratio? 5:1 or something.
Okay, got it.
All right, so okay, and now we were gonna add also fresh herbs. Now if you don't have fresh herbs, that's fine. You can use dry herbs. Here we're using fresh parsley. So this is with stems and all. It's okay to use the stems. In fact, the stems have a lot of flavor in them. So we're just gonna chop this fine. When you chop herbs, as much as possible, you wanna chop it once. Some they like chop it to death until it's like so mushy and fine. Just try to chop as thin as you can once, and that's all you need, because you just want the herbs aroma to release its flavor and everything. So once is enough. You don't want to chop it to death. So we just add here. And And also we're adding some fresh basil. Oh, I even have a flour. Let's keep this for garnish. Yeah, keep some fresh herbs for garnish later, so it'll make our plate really nice. Now for basil, you can use a stem if it's not so thick, but if it's thick like this, then you need to discard it because it's gonna be chewy, like a toothpick. Yeah, so just use the leaves.
You could save it for later. You could save it for later to get out of your teeth, the meatballs out of your teeth.
Yeah. I love the smell of basil. This is actually from my herb garden, my potted herbs in the house. Right, so again, we're just gonna chop this once. When you chop, make sure your hand is like curled like this. You don't wanna chop anything with your hand like this, or else you'll have you know, a manicure.
Oh, no.
So make sure your hands are right. We add this. Now since the longanisa, well, my longanisa at least has a lot of pepper already and it's quite flavorful, I'm just gonna put a little bit of salt. I'm using sea salt. This is just to season more the breadcrumbs and the other ingredients, not really the whole longanisa. So be careful when you season your meatballs because you don't want to make it too salty, right? Okay, so now what we do, the best mixer created, our hands. We gotta mix everything together. Don't be afraid to have your hands dirty because this is actually the fun part. Now you need to do this advance because we're gonna put this back to the refrigerator for at least 30 minutes. That way the meatballs will be easier to shape later on. So that's why this is the first thing we're doing right now. How are you guys doing? Are you massaging your longanisa with me?
I see Hannah. Yeah, that's her. Hannah has her glove on too.
Yeah, you can use gloves as well if you have. It's fine. Okay, so this is fairly mixed well. All right, so we're just gonna put this back to the refrigerator. Just gonna wash my hands quick. Always wash your hands. By the way, does everyone have an oven and a microwave and stove? Yes?
Yes, Chef.
Great. All right. So I'm just gonna put this back to the refrigerator. I really like this refrigerator here. Too bad you can't see it. It's vintage looking. All right. So, oh shucks, I forgot another ingredient. Sorry. The cheese. Forgot to put some cheese there. So this is around half a cup of grated Parmesan. If you don't have grated Parmesan, you can use any kind of cheese. As long as it's the dry type of cheese, not your cheddar or
mozzarella.
Soft or mozzarella, because if you use that, your meatballs will be very, very wet and when you cook it, it might just disintegrate. So make sure it's a dry type cheese. You can use queso de bola, Edam cheese, that's fine. Right. It's good I saw my cheese. Or else I totally forgot. Right. Okay, so I think the cheese will mix. So we're gonna put this in the refrigerator for 30 minutes. You can actually do this overnight. Right. Okay, so while we are waiting for our meatball mixture to to bind itself, we're gonna do our next thing, which is our tomatoes. Yes. Now, when you eat the silogs, I like to eat it with fresh tomatoes. Here, we're actually going to oven dry our tomatoes. So when you say oven dry, it's like, I don't know if you're familiar with sun-dried tomatoes, but here it's fresher and you're trying to replicate sun-dried tomatoes, but it's more fresh, it's more juicy. So I'm just gonna, you need a oven, this is like a Pyrex, an oven ready dish. And then I have here some small tomatoes. If you have big tomatoes, that's fine. It's the same procedure still. So we're just gonna cut these tomatoes in half. So just like that. Now, if your tomatoes are super big, then you can cut it in forks. So here I'm just cutting it in half. Make sure it's already washed and clean.
And flat side up on the dish.
Watch that.
The flat side of the tomato, it should be up.
Yes. You don't want to put it this way because you want to actually dry the flesh part. So you want to expose that, and we're also going to season this later. There you go. So this is roughly like 10 small tomatoes, or if you have big ones, you can use 5 or 6. And then you need to, if you have an oven, you need to preheat your oven to 180, 190 degrees C. So maybe you can turn on your oven now. So we're gonna just put some salt. And drizzle a little bit of Evo or extra virgin olive oil. Yes.
If you guys didn't catch that, Chef Lau said to preheat your oven now to about 180.
You can turn our oven now. It's okay if it's not preheated, it's fine.
Okay.
So now I'm gonna put these sliced tomatoes inside our oven here. So this is set at 180. You can set it higher, up to 200. And
Sorry, Chef. I think I missed how to season the tomatoes. Sorry, I was preheating the oven.
It's
how
okay.
Do we season
Just
the
put
tomatoes?
some salt and a little bit of extra virgin olive oil, and you're set.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yes, actually, cooking is very simple. Whenever I cook, I don't use so much, stuff. I like more the natural flavors. I rarely use or I never use those magic stuff with all that MSG and all that, you know, unnatural flavorings. Always stick to the basic: salt, pepper. All right, so next, since our meatball, Longanisa meatball is in the ref, our tomatoes is nice and you know, drying in the oven. Our next is our risotto. All right, so it's a garlic risotto. So we'll be using 1 head of garlic. Now, I don't know if you chopped already your garlic. I'll show you how to prepare or mince garlic. So you have like a whole head, and you just peel it like this. Now, to peel garlic, you just need your knife. Just squeeze a little bit. You don't have to squeeze it so hard. And then the skin will peel off easy, like this. So I have already some that's peeled. And then again, how I did my onion, you can also do it with your garlic. So I will slice this again. This is the head part. So I'll slice it again, not all the way.
Wow.
And then since it's small, maybe just 1 slice in the middle. And then with a rolling action, you can just slice it like this.
Amazing.
So, very simple way of mincing your garlic. And make sure your hands are curled. There. So let's do this again. So how are you guys? Do you like cooking always, or is this like the first time you're cooking at home? Because I noticed. Yes.
Oh yes, I always cook for my family, but this is the first time. Yes, this is the first time I'm trying a risotto. So.
Oh wow, cool. Okay, so yeah, just tips for cooking risotto. Are you using short grain rice? Do you have a risotto rice, or what rice are you using right now?
Ah yes, I have risotto rice. So.
Nice. Right. Now, if you don't have risotto rice, you can also use malagkit rice. It's just gonna have different texture because malagkit rice, well, it's malagkit, so it's sticky, but it's similar to a risotto rice because malagkit rice is also short grain. When you say short grain, the rice is small and fat rather than long and thin. So it's fine.
So, Chef, would you say that risotto is similar to Japanese short grain rice?
Yes. The Japanese rice and the risotto rice are very similar. The only difference is the risotto rice has more starch content. So when you cook it as a risotto, it's more creamy, more what do you call this? Compared to a Japanese rice, it's less starchy, so it's more, when you cook it, it's not as sticky or something. Do I make sense? Like the grains would be more separate. Then with the risotto, you will see later, it'll cook longer as well. Usually Japanese rice, they cook very fast. There. Okay, so maybe I'll do 3 more.
How are you doing over there, Carlin?
Yeah, guys, if you have any questions, don't hesitate. Don't be shy.
And risotto is pretty tricky, you know. You have to have good timing, from what I know, to make it.
Yes, the Italians, when they cook risotto, like pasta, they want it al dente. Now, it's very tricky here in the Philippines or in Asia, since we're used to eating rice fully cooked, right?
Yeah.
So it really depends on your preference. You can cook it al dente, which is it still has this bite, or you can cook it all the way through. But since I'm gonna do it Italian style, I'm gonna teach you how to cook it al dente. Right. And the difference between a risotto and a usual sinaing is the liquid. You don't put everything in one go. You cook it. You just add slowly until you reach that right risotto consistency. So later on you will see it. Okay, so this would be my last garlic. I think I have enough garlic. All right, so we have our minced garlic. And then I'm gonna also chop our salted egg, or itlog na maalat. Now, the reason why I'm gonna chop this, because I want this to mix in with the risotto, and I want it like really creamy. If you even have a food processor, it's nice to even use that. So our salted egg is really finely chopped.
My mouth is just salivating watching you cut that salted egg.
Yes, and imagine eating this in the risotto.
Yeah.
With garlic, and eating this together with our oven-dried tomatoes. That itself is already a dish. And then of course you add our longanisa meatballs.
Chef Lau, was this, did you think, okay, I'm going to put all these ingredients together and make a meatball risotto, or was it something that you thought, okay, I'm going to try bit by bit? Oh, you know what? It's missing salted egg. Missing sun-dried tomatoes.
Well, actually, I worked backwards. I thought, okay, if I'm gonna make a dish that's based with the Longanisa silog, and I'm gonna make a risotto meatball dish, I worked backwards, like what ingredients should be there. So I just thought, well, I should put all of it, including the tomatoes and the red eggs, salted eggs. So based on that, I'm thinking, well, either I put everything, in the risotto, or maybe I could do it separate, right?
Got it.
And since I want to make this extra special, I thought, why not do each component separately, but still using all the ingredients that's in a longanisa silog. So here you go. It's a bit complex how I think. Sometimes, I just yeah, dishes just come out. And actually, to be honest, I've never done this dish before. So like you guys, this will be the first time, and I'm actually clueless how this will come out. So
how exciting! We get an exclusive.
yes. This is the very first longanisa meatball I've ever done, and the very first garlic salted egg risotto. Yes, so cross your fingers.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so we have the salted egg, we have the garlic. We're gonna use butter for this one. So we're gonna start cooking. And do you have your stock? Very important, we're using chicken stock here. If you don't have chicken stock, you can use pork stock. That's fine. As long as it's stock, not water, because you want the risotto to be very flavorful, and it's very important that we use stock. And also to finish, we're also using some whole cream. All right, so let's start cooking our risotto. I have here a heavy pan. Just make sure your pan is big enough, because the risotto will increase its volume by 3 or even 4 times. So this doesn't look much, but once you're finished cooking, it's gonna be a lot. So we're gonna turn on our stove. Put it to medium-high heat, because we're gonna saute first our garlic. All right, so this is around 3-4 tablespoons of butter.
Is there a specific kind of pan that I think you said preferably non-stick?
Well, I'm using here a heavy pan. You don't want to use a pan that's very thin, because you'll burn your whatever you're cooking very fast. I like using, this is like really heavy. You want to use a thick type pan. This is actually a cast iron enamel pan. So this is very heavy duty. All right, so we're gonna put our minced garlic. Another way of mincing your garlic, if you have a mortar and pestle, you can just smash it. That's fantastic. So you wanna saute your garlic just enough to make it golden. You don't wanna really brown your garlic, because it will be very bitter. You have to be careful. That smell is really good. I love the garlic smell. Right. Actually, you know what? I hate to waste this half onion. I just thought of why not just add it to this risotto. Lower the heat. I don't want to burn my garlic. You know, it's really fun cooking this way. It's like I'm cooking with everyone, but not.
In the comfort of everyone's homes.
Yeah. So here we're sauteing the onions with the garlic. And then once you see the onions change color or become translucent, is that the word? Not white anymore. then that's the time you can add your risotto rice. Right, so I think, yes, our onions are nice and translucent. Then we add our risotto rice. Now in the recipe it says 1 cup. You can maybe add a half cup more. So maybe 1.5 cups is okay. Or if you want to make 2 cups, that's fine. You just have to adjust the amount of stock to put. If you want to cook more for your family, you can make it 2 cups. That's okay. This recipe would probably feed 3 to 4 people. If you have a bigger family, then add more risotto rice. All right. Okay, so now you wanna turn the heat a little bit up because we're gonna start putting some chicken stock, and you want it to sizzle the first time. So that's why I'm putting the heat a little bit high. Okay, so we're gonna add slowly. We're gonna add maybe half a cup at a time to our risotto rice. That's it.
We heard the sizzle. Yeah.
It's sizzling, and then you want to just gently stir it, and it's gonna the stock is gonna evaporate eventually, and then when it does, then we'll pour another half a cup. So it's half a cup a time until the risotto rice is cooked or al dente. So that's the big difference between cooking rice normally and risotto. All right. So you can see here, the liquid is disappearing.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually some of it has evaporated, but some is being absorbed by the rice. Yes. There you go. So when this happens, you see it's almost dry, then we add again. So cooking risotto is a labor of love because it takes a while for it to cook. Now, when we're halfway with our stock, then we can reduce the heat because you don't want it to cook so fast. And you can also season this with salt. Just put a little bit. So why I wanna season as I put stock. So when the rice absorbs the stock, it's already flavorful. It's kind of hard to season risotto at the end because pretty much all your stock has been absorbed already. So it's a good idea to season it as you add stock. Yes, so that's just my style. You know, usually you don't do that, but trust me, when you cook risotto or paella, you want your stock to be flavorful already. Right. So at this point, I'm gonna turn down my heat to medium, because I don't want it to evaporate or reduce too fast. So again, I'm gonna add some stock. There you go. So you just let this slowly simmer, and you'll notice your risotto will double, triple in size. What happened to my stove? It turned off by itself. Okay, right. So yes, we're live. So anything can happen in the kitchen. Just have to be ready. So you have to observe your risotto right now. If it's not simmering so much, then you have to increase. Oh, turns off again. Kuya. It's good that I have my La Germania guy to help. His name is Lovely.
Thank you, Kuya Lovely.
Oh, yeah, Lovely, but as in first name mo is Lovely. Yes, gusto ba dapat ng mom and dad mo na babae ka? Kasi babae ako. Akala nila babae ka.
So now it's isn't he lovely?
Nakalagay sa birth certificate, Lovely. Hindi na pwede palta, no? Wow. So Lovely, just one name. Wala kang second name. Lovely. Namatay siya. Namatay siya mag-isa. Baka ano kaya problema? Dito na lang. Okay. It's good that we have 4 burners, so I can just switch to another burner. Right. So, okay, Lovely. Ayaw na rin niya. Maybe the electrical load. Hindi kaya. I think one solution maybe because the oven is working. Maybe the electrical load hindi kaya. Hindi kaya. So what we can do is I can cook first the risotto and then maybe later on we'll just do the tomatoes. Alright, so I'll turn off first the oven. Okay, let's see.
How is everyone coming along with their risotto?
Yeah, how are your risottos?
Great.
Yeah, slowly and incorporating the stock into your risotto.
Yes. The trick is when you see the liquid is kind of dry, then just keep adding half a cup at a time. All right, until your rice is al dente or cooked but a little bit firm.
There you go. We don't like mushy risotto.
No, you know what? That's congee or that's different. Okay, so my stove keeps anyway. I set it to 5, so it looks like it's okay with 5. Oh no. Right, so yeah, it looks okay in this side. Can the camera still see? Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
How long does it usually take to get the risotto to that perfect doneness?
How long? Wow. Depends on your stove and the amount of heat you're using. Can be anywhere from 30 to 45 minutes. You just have to be patient because you don't want to dump all the water. You want to put a little bit of stock, make it absorb, add another stock, make it absorb. So it takes time.
Like you said, a labor of love.
Yes, so I added some stock. So I'm gonna add a little bit of salt again. Right, so while that's cooking, we have our salted eggs and cream. These are the other ingredients that we're gonna incorporate with the risotto, but we're gonna do it when the risotto is almost cooked, all right? Because the salted egg, if you cook it too long, it's gonna be tough, so you want to put it last minute. And just keep stirring your risotto. That way it will promote also the creaminess. As you notice, the starch content of the rice is showing already. You can see it's getting a bit thicker. Can I see your risotto, guys? How's it going?
Hannah and Carlin are on video. If you guys could show us how far you guys are along.
Can I take a quick peek?
I'm actually on my laptop, so let's just
okay. Oh, nice.
There you go.
Is that Caitlin? Carlin. Nice. Your risotto is looking really great. Just keep stirring, adding a bit of water. Okay. All right. So, yep. Good job. Okay. So now, we're gonna add again a little bit of stock. Now, in case you ran out of stock, I guess you can use water, but it's not advisable to use water with risotto. But for emergency, you can use water because it already absorbed naman the stock, so it's quite tasty already. That's fine if you want it more cooked. Right. So later on, I'm gonna show you how to do poached eggs, because we're gonna serve this Longsilog. Of course, there's a itlog component, and not just salted eggs, but we're actually gonna do poached eggs. That's so easy. It's like a poached egg hack.
Nice.
And all you need is a microwave like this. So hopefully you guys have some microwave. Right, so yeah, this risotto is shaping up. All right, so okay, so while that's cooking away, let's check back on our meatballs. Let's see if we're ready to roll it. So here is our meatball, Longanisa meatball. You can see it's more solid now. So I'm just gonna lower this heat first. I'll just take this salted egg away first. Because we're gonna add this at the end pa. Right, so what we'll be doing next is we're gonna roll our longanisa meatball. So again, wash your hands. So you have to know how to multitask. Don't forget your risotto. Add a bit stock there. Okay, so let's start rolling. Now, depends on you how big you want your meatballs to be. Me, I don't like it too big because when you make it too big, it's hard for it to cook all the way. Right? So more or less smaller than or more or less smaller than a ping pong ball, like this, or like a golf ball, or smaller than a golf ball. Don't do it bigger than that. So it's very important that you let it rest in the ref. That way it's easier to form, because if you do the meatballs immediately, it's hard to form it.
And Chef Lau, you're just placing it on another baking dish?
Yes, it's or any plate that you have, because we're gonna fry this later.
Got it.
Yep. So you can do this ahead of time. And just fry it last minute, that's fine. So if you're like doing a big batch, you need to check on your risotto once in a while. If it still has some stock or not. If you see some onions like detaching, that's fine. Okay, I have to stir my risotto a bit. Wow, this is getting to be almost done. Maybe 15 minutes more.
Chef Lau, I heard that you have a deep love for music. What's your favorite kind of music to listen to when you're cooking?
I like mostly all kinds of music, but you know, when I was in college, I had a band, so and it was a rock band. So I used to
Rockstar chef.
I used to sing 90s rock alternative music, and I actually just cut my hair short like 2 days ago. When I was in college, my hair was up to here.
What were your favorite bands growing up? I mean, or what?
Oh yeah, 90s rock. So Nirvana,
yeah.
Pearl Jam. But my love of music started very young, and my first heroes were the Beatles. Yeah, I love the Beatles. That's the reason why I wanted to be a rock star. Was because of the Beatles. Yes.
When did your love for cooking begin?
Oh, I started cooking at age 7.
Oh, wow.
As soon as I was tall enough to see the stove, that's when I started cooking. But at first, I only helped with preparing the food. Like peel garlic, onions, potatoes. But I really love. Well, when I was young, I loved eating. I was actually kind of chubby when I was 5-6 years old. So I was super matakaw. And I would basically live in the kitchen. So that's how my love for food started. And eventually, I was looking for my family, and I was going to the farmers market in Cubao. It's Gaitas territory in Araneta. You can see our risotto is almost getting there.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, since I can only use one, well, let's try. Maybe we can use 2. All right. Good news. Okay, I'm not gonna roll all the meatballs. You can save some of the meatballs for later. I'll just put this back into the wrap. Right, so great. Okay, now since we rolled our meatballs, now we can fry them. I'm just gonna put some extra virgin olive oil. Make sure you put enough in the pan so your meatballs are not gonna stick. And then put your heat to medium high. You don't wanna put your meatballs in low heat because it's not gonna brown and it might stick to the pan. So make sure it's hot enough. But not too hot because we're gonna burn it naman. Right. Okay, so just gonna put our meatballs. Be careful for the oil. I'm a trained professional, so don't do what I'm doing. You can use like a tong, like this.
There we go. And you're moving them around a bit just so that they don't stick? You're making sure they don't stick to the pan? Okay.
So you just want to brown all the sides. And then we're going to put it back in the oven again to make sure it's fully cooked until the inside, and it will cook together with our dried tomatoes.
Chef Lau, do you have someone maybe in your family that you feel I need to impress them with any new dish that you create?
Sorry?
Maybe your biggest critic in your family when it comes to new dishes that you create?
Actually, my wife is probably my biggest critic, Chef Jackie. Because be careful not to heat up. Yeah, my wife, Chef Jackie, is my harshest critic. She's brutally honest whenever I cook, so which is fine. It's better to be honest than, you know.
Did you tell her about this recipe that you're trying out?
What's that?
Does she know that you're going to try this Longsilog? And
oh yeah.
You know how she feels about it?
Yeah, she knows, but actually she doesn't know that this is the first time I'm actually doing it. Okay, so this is nice brown. It's okay if it's still a bit raw, because we're gonna bake this again in the oven. Just want this to be brown. Oh.
So we'll fry it and then we'll bake the
Yes.
longanisa balls.
Together with our tomato.
Ooh, okay.
Chef, I just want to say that the meatballs already smell really great.
Did you hear that, Chef?
Oh, sorry?
Hannah said she just wanted to share that the meatballs already smell really great.
Oh, nice.
They look amazing too.
Okay, so we're gonna put this back to the oven. Now we're gonna turn this oven back again. Hopefully it stays on. How are your tomatoes coming? Are they a little bit sort of like, did it shrink a bit? Is it a bit dry?
Yes, Chef, they're shrinking already.
Can I see?
I'm sorry, I'm on my laptop.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, so now our risotto is, I think, almost done. I'm gonna just have a quick taste. I just wanna actually, yeah, it has a little bit of bite, but it's still a bit hard for me, so I'm gonna cook it further. But it's getting there, so this is the time where I'm gonna add our salted eggs. And I'm gonna add a little bit of cream. I'm just gonna add a little bit of cream first, not all of it. Nice.
Wow, that looks really good, Chef.
Yes, and imagine it's a lot. You know, we started with just a cup. Now, this is literally good for 4 people. Right, so you just want to keep stirring, cook it down, and then you just let your meatballs and tomatoes cook in your oven, and maybe in 15 to 20 minutes we're done.
And then we have poached eggs.
Oh yeah, that's right. The poached eggs. Okay, the poached eggs, you'll be needing cups, any cup, like coffee cup, or as long as it's not a big cup. And all you need to do is put some water, a little bit, like more than halfway. But this literally takes a minute, literally a minute, and I'll show you later. So we'll be doing this the last minute. So I'm just prepping the cups, and we're gonna put a little bit of salt in the water. I only have 3 cups, so I'm just gonna do 3, but if you have 4, then you can do 4 eggs. Right, and then we're just gonna break the egg carefully and put it inside the cup. Make sure the yolk doesn't break. Wow, this risotto. Nice.
Yeah, wow. It looks nice and creamy.
It's creamy. It has that salted egg, and it's also garlicky. Because remember, my inspiration for this is the sinangag, which is garlic rice. So it should have that garlicky flavor. Okay, so just clean up here a bit. Right, so I'm gonna make a quick taste again. Now, it really depends on your taste. If you want the texture of your risotto to be firmer or softer, if you want it softer, then just cook it longer. Add more stock. If you want it, al dente, then you can stop cooking. I'm gonna taste it right now. Perfect. I like it. Just a little bit more al dente, more cooked than al dente, which is this. So I'm taking it out of the heat. As you can see, it's still quite creamy, but the rice is perfect. I love the salted egg flavor. It made this risotto very interesting. Normally, you don't eat risotto with salted eggs, but it's actually quite good. Not bad for a first time. And then we'll just check on our
meatballs and tomatoes.
It'll take another maybe 10 minutes. Yeah, and our tomatoes is still cooking. So while we're waiting for that, to garnish, we just have the fresh herbs, and then the leftover cheese. And yeah, I'm just gonna wait. So while waiting, if you have any questions, feel free to ask.
Chef, I have a question.
Yes.
How much cream did you put in the risotto rice?
Oh, I placed more or less half a cup, but depending on you, if you want it creamier, you can put 1 cup. Me, I added only half a cup, or a little bit more than half a cup, because it's already quite rich because of the natural starch of the rice and everything. So you don't want your risotto to be super heavy, because but if you like it rich, and feel free to add more cream, just as long as it's not so soupy or wet. Like right now, this is perfect. You can see it's creamy but dry. It's not so wet. That's how risotto should be. Actually, later on I can actually garnish this with just a little bit more cream, just for presentation. All right, so
I have a last question, Chef. How much chicken stock did you put, since you put a while ago 1 1/2 cup of risotto rice?
Yeah, the stock a while ago was a bit more than a liter. I think I added 1.2 liters here.
Okay.
So this is what's left. I guess I use just a little bit more than a liter for 1 cup. Again, it depends on your pan, your stove, or how much you want your rice to be al dente or soft. Just keep adding stock if you want to cook it longer. Or if you ran out of stock, you can add water. Just adjust the seasoning and everything. But this is perfect for me. And we're just waiting for our meatballs and our tomatoes to be done. And then I'm just gonna add it here, and we're gonna do our poached egg hack using a microwave that will literally take 1 minute. It's the easiest way to poach eggs. When you say poached eggs, you're cooking eggs in water. So that's technically what a poached egg is. It's eggs that's cooked in water. It's different from boiling an egg, because of course when you boil an egg, you boil it with the shell. But poached eggs, you actually put the egg in the water. Now, traditionally, when you poach eggs, you simmer it in a pan or a pot, and then you put a little bit of vinegar. And
yeah, I'm familiar with that way.
Yeah, and then you slowly put the cracked eggs, and it's quite a tedious process.
Yeah.
And a little bit messy sometimes, because the whites sometimes they go all over the place. The reason why you put vinegar is you want to avoid the whites to go all over the place. And this method, it's simple, fast, and it keeps the eggs in the round shape as well.
Wow.
So I hope it works. It's a poached egg hack. I saw this in one of the YouTube videos I came across many years back. Forgot when I saw this, but it's so simple that it's crazy. It actually works, but it's so simple. Hopefully it works. All right, so check again.
Hannah, do you have a question?
Yes.
Oh, I was just gonna ask for the step-by-step again of how to do the poached egg hack, if that's all right.
Yes. First, you'll need a cup, like a coffee cup. Not a big mug, just a small cup. Put water more than halfway, and then add a little bit of salt. I think no need to add vinegar because the vinegar is just to make sure the whites don't go all over the place. But since you're just gonna put it inside the cup, it's just gonna stay there. And then later on, we'll crack the egg, slowly put the egg whites and everything, and avoid breaking the yolk. That's the most important part. So you have to be very careful in cracking your egg and putting it. And then we're just gonna put it in the microwave, set it 1 minute, and then after a minute, boom, you have instant poached eggs.
Wow.
Right. Hopefully, from La Germania, I've never seen this in my life, so I'm trying to figure out how to. Okay. There, 1 minute. I used the shortcut, 30 seconds. So I'll press twice to make 1 minute. Right. So while that is poaching in the microwave, then we can we can start plating. I actually like putting it in the actual pan where I cook my risotto. So I'm just gonna arrange this nicely. Now this is a cool party dish actually.
Yeah.
Again, you still have a lot. Remember, you still have a lot of meatballs in the ref. See, that fast.
1 minute.
I'm not gonna take it out yet because I'm kind of nervous. I'm gonna do it last minute. There you go. And let's add this nice oven dried tomatoes. So imagine eating Longanisa silog, but cooked by an Italian.
Yes, that's basically Pinoy Italian fusion. Yeah.
Yeah. So actually, La Germania, I thought when I was a kid that it was made in Germany because the name Germania.
Mm-hmm.
But it's made from Italy by the family by Bertazzoni family, and they made it like during the 18th century pa. So literally ano na siya, 6 or 7 generations.
Amazing.
Yeah. And it's still a family business. I met the 6th generation Bertazzoni dude. So awesome. And Germania is actually, they were inspired by the train that goes from Germany to Italy, France, and in those trains they were using wood burning well, you don't call it a stove. No, it's not really a stove or an oven. I forgot what it's called. And that inspired them to make their own oven using firewood, and they called it La Germania because it's inspired by the train. All right, so I will put this later. Okay, now is the moment of truth. I have to see whether our poached egg experiment worked or not. I don't know if it worked for you guys. Have you tried the microwave?
Did anyone's come out successful?
Yes. Mine needed a little more time.
Okay.
I think mine needs a little bit more time as well. Because yeah, it's still raw. Okay, let's try this again. Maybe, how do you set the power? Oh no, I press defrost. We're not gonna defrost. How do you turn this off? There. Ah, there, okay. Wow, this is too high tech.
Oh, okay, that's the temperature.
Right. Okay, while that's poaching away, I'm gonna add more fresh herbs.
I love the colors.
Yes, very colorful, right?
Yeah.
It's the color of Italy.
Yes.
Red, some cheese. Oh, don't forget this basil flower. Yeah, color is kind of
Nice and opaque.
Let's check. It's weird. The yolk looks cooked, but I don't see any whites. Right. And then all you need is a spoon to scoop it out. Aha, there you go.
Wow.
So it's a bit still runny, but that's fine. Maybe this needs more, like 30 seconds more. So we'll just add it.
I love a malasado egg.
Yep. But this is too malasado.
Two malasados.
It's mala malasado.
Ooh, that one looks nice.
There you go. Oh, there it is. The whites are still stuck here. We'll just add it. There you go. And then let's add more cheese. And then finish with a little bit of cream. Just drizzle.
That looks amazing.
Yeah, no?
Yeah.
Wow. So first ever Longsilog, which is inspired by our Longsilog,
Yeah.
which is longanisa that's transformed into a meatball, like Italian style longanisa meatball, served with a garlic salted egg risotto and oven dried tomatoes with barely making it poached eggs. Okay. So, here you go. If you want a closer look.
Oh, that is beautiful.